we need more politicians who will step up and say, turn to me for solutions. Look to me for help. Blame me when things are going wrong. And I feel like we are seeing that from Bruce Harrell. Thank you to the founding sponsor of unDivided, 1530 Mortgage. Visit them at 1530mortgage.com. I would argue, you can disagree, I would argue that there are few reporters who have been as critical of the city of Seattle as I have been during my 10-year career here. And Seattle is a city that has been on the national stage as kind of progressivism gone awry. And I believe that that's a little bit hard to argue in its current state, a crime crisis, a drug crisis, a homelessness crisis. The city looks like hell. But I posted an op-ed on my Patreon and Locals pages, kind of celebrating what I think is maybe the beginning of a turning point in the city. Here it is. We shouldn't have to celebrate common sense, yet here we are. And the argument I made in the article is really that, Bruce Harrell still has a lot of work to do to prove himself as the city's new mayor, but he has shown a willingness to ignore the loudest activists in the room and do the things he promised he'd do on the campaign trail, like clearing homeless camps, for instance, especially the ones that are dangerous, like prioritizing crime and dealing with some of the hot spots in the city. And while those are things that we should just expect from elected leaders, we haven't seen that from Seattle leaders for such a long time. I do believe it's worthy of celebration. And in fact, this weekend, there was another promising development out of the city of Seattle. The One Seattle Day of Service was the brainchild of Mayor Harrell, where he basically said, look, as a city, we're going to come together. We're going to go out. We're going to clean up our neighborhoods. We're going to pick up trash. We're going to paint. We're going to spruce up neighborhoods, maybe even have a push-up contest or two. And we're going to come out and take ownership and take pride in our city. And I saw some responses to that of people saying, well, citizens shouldn't have to do that. The government should be doing that. The government shouldn't have allowed these neighborhoods to get so bad in the first place. I agree with that. But I was heartened to see so many people come out and say, look, we believe in the potential of this city. We're not going to allow the fabric of our neighborhoods and the fabric of our city to continue to unravel, even if we have to try to stop it or reverse course ourselves. And the fact that Mayor Harrell could bring so many people together and that he's out there setting an example for elected leaders and putting in the work himself is incredibly promising. I spoke at a political convention this weekend, and I made a point that I believe there's a lot of politicians out there who really, they want the job, but they don't want the responsibility. We've talked about Joe Biden blaming inflation on everyone under the sun but himself and just not taking responsibility for it as the president of the United States, even if there is some shared blame. And one of the things I told the crowd at the convention is we need more politicians who will step up and say, turn to me for solutions. Look to me for help. Blame me when things are going wrong. And I feel like we are seeing that from Bruce Harrell, where he's willing to say, look, I was on the city council for a long time. Some of these situations got worse under my watch, but I am going to step up. I'm going to take responsibility. I'm the mayor. I wanted this job, and I'm going to try to bring as many people on board to help out as I can. And I think that is something worth celebrating. If you like videos like this, consider becoming an unDivided subscriber. You can help continue this movement and expand this movement to give common sense a comeback. You can do that in two ways, at patreon.com/undivided, or by becoming a contributor on my Locals community, brandikruse.locals.com. Thank you to the founding sponsor of unDivided, 1530 Mortgage. Visit them at 1530mortgage.com.